Hello, this is Zahir Alam. Welcome you all on Frankly Speaking. My guest today is Mr. Diliraj Bhatta from USA. He is a New York lawyer dealing with immigration issues. He has long been working to support people from all across the world and definitely from South Asia, ranging from Bangladesh, India, Nepal, Bhutan, Maldives, Sri Lanka, for immigrating in the United States of America and expanding their business. Many of us have been thinking and planning about immigrating to the United States, and Mr. Dili is working on that. He is the founding member of the firm which is called Bhatta Law and Associates. He has extensive experience in all phases of commercial transactions, litigation, and intellectual property law. He advises clients on a broad spectrum of matters and provides unique strategic solutions in resolving all the complex legal issues. We welcome Mr. Diliraj Bhatta on Frankly Speaking.
Thank you.
We know that United States is a hub of immigrants, but recently there have been so many apprehensions about the United States, especially when the President Donald Trump came into power. There are so many apprehensions, fear factor related to the immigrants and immigration policy. So, what is the state of the United States right now for the immigrants?
That's a very interesting question. Yes, we have a definitely new president. The apprehensions you're talking about, those issues always there in this country. It's just that the government agencies are doing their job. If someone is criminal, undocumented, and the government wants to deport them, obviously those are the rules. These activities were always there, 90s, 20s, even now. So maybe media is talking more about that, but those activities were always there. So it's nothing new, actually.
So nothing to worry about,
nothing to worry about it. It's just a daily, regular work that the government agencies are doing.
But we see he pushes hard, is more on hardline policy.
Absolutely, he has spoken about those things, but there is nothing new. Previous administration, previous president did not speak, but the regulation remained the same. If you look at the deportation records and data, Obama had to deport more than what George W. Bush did. So the same thing, it just remains the same way. Sometimes media makes issues, sometimes they don't. But there is nothing new about this.
You have been working for the people who is willing to immigrate in the United States and supporting many people to expand their businesses in the United States. What are the opportunities over there for the people, especially from South Asia?
Oh yeah, if you look at the data, there are thousands of people go to United States from Bangladesh, from every country, as a matter of fact. America has about more than 1 million people they bring in a permanent residency every year, and then there are other temporary visas. Any businesses, they are doing businesses from these countries to the United States, they can bring their own, they can transfer their own employees to conduct the same business, whether it's about product, whether it's about service-related industry, whether it's about tech-related industries. Yes, these activities continue to go. So it's nothing new, and no such changes has happened. I believe that people who are interested, who are qualified, they are continuing to do business like that within America.
Most cases, we see that the most, the immigration seekers are based on the family petitions.
Okay.
But there have been some other options we are hearing. What are those?
Okay, this is a very interesting question. Another brought it up. Last year, 2016 report. If you look at the people from, I'm talking about Bangladesh right now. Obviously, worldwide numbers are there, but out of 18,000 Bangladeshis that went, that migrated to the United States, almost more than 7,400 were family-based. The family sponsored them, so they went there.
Okay.
But there are not so many employment-based related things, which is a huge areas of migration to the United States, whether doing businesses, employment-based 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The companies can do business here. There are so many other ways. I don't think Bangladesh has utilized it so much. Compared to your population, I think you are number 3 in South Asia. Yet when it comes to take advantage of these.
So why Bangladeshis are getting so poor attention from the US side?
Well, this is the question I think I need to ask you, the media, or maybe the university, maybe the government. What I think, lack of information.
Out of 18,000, this 17,000 plus are based on family petition.
Yes.
So only 400 plus is based on employment.
Exactly.
So that's a very poor number.
Less than half what Nepal gets. Less than 1/3 what Pakistan sends.
That's stunning and unacceptable. Why is that?
It is.
I mean, you are asking, but I don't have any answer on that.
Well, I do have what I think personally is because there is not enough information provided to the people. Bangladesh is a huge country, 160 million people. You have international companies here. You are second largest garment importer in the world. Exporter, sorry. And then you have so many other development here.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw that through my eyes, and also the data.
As a country of 160 million people.
Absolutely.
And Nepal is only
30 million.
30 million.
You are 5 times bigger than the population what Nepal has.
And the employment visa number is more or less same.
Half of what Nepal is getting advantage of that. So 1/3 of what Pakistan is getting, way below what India is getting. So this is because I think not enough information.
And is the identical phenomena for years?
Yes, this has been for, if you look at the past 5 years data, this is what it appears to, 14, 15, 16, 17.
Not more than 400 or 500?
Not more than 400, 500. There are so many different ways to do it, yet people do not either know that, they have no information.
But if you look at the remittance sending by the diaspora from the United States to their country of origin, in that terms, Bangladesh is also ranked very low.
Absolutely. Again, it comes to the proportionate rate of what we have. If you look at the World Bank report of 2016, Bangladesh brings about 400 and I think approximately $78 million from the United States, remittance.
Yeah.
While Pakistan has more than 3 times revenue bringing to Pakistan for under the same for the same years. Nepal, on the other hand, is
more than $1,200 million.
No, more. Nepal is similar to that, but
talking about Pakistan.
Pakistan is just something like that. I think it's 3 times more than I think $1,300 million. And
how about Nepal?
They are 400 and I think 31 or something, a few millions less than what you have. So your population is 5 times bigger than what Nepal has, but yet they are still getting almost the same type of amount of revenue back in their country.
So how Bangladesh can intensify their effort to send or to pave the way for immigrating more people in the United States?
Okay, that's a legitimate question.
Yes.
What I have found that Bangladesh is very good with education. A lot of people within South Asian countries do come here to study engineering, medicine, math, science. You are great with that thing. I think technology wise also you are doing pretty good. So when you have this much qualified youth in this country, and they should definitely seek opportunities to expand their skills outside of Bangladesh too. I'm not saying that everybody should be going to Australia, America, Canada or something, particularly looking at this data that I just said when it comes to the United States. I do believe that they need to find more information and capitalize those opportunities so that they benefit, Bangladesh benefits. As a matter of fact, even the world benefit if you have skilled people doing something great.
But I mean, who can stand by them? Who can support them?
Well, support means they can definitely support themselves, but they need to inquire information. There are you pretty much you can find everything on the internet. That's the starting point. And then you do have the qualified services and people. Speak with them, see what you can be eligible with. If you don't speak, if you don't ask information, of course, it's not going to be available to you.
The number of students you just mentioned, that is also very significant, remarkably very low.
Yes.
From Bangladesh, comparing to other South Asian nations.
Absolutely. When I just looked at 5 years Department of State's, United States data, I think only 1,700 students went to the United States for higher education or educational visa. Yet, India has thousands, 64, I think about 64.
60 plus
thousands. Pakistan has 3-4 times more than what you have.
Even Nepal even 5,000
Nepal has
plus.
a 5,000 something plus. So that what it shows is, while your education system is good here back home and in Bangladesh, but maybe there is something that students do not know or do not prepare correctly, so that they have been either rejected or don't even apply.
Yeah. So you cannot only hold the strict visa regime for this low number.
Well, remember, visa regulation have always been there. No changes has happened in the past 6-7 years or even longer than that.
It remains same.
It remains same. Obviously, one has to have a bona fide school, ability to go and study, their grades, their talents and all these things, those will play into a role. But aside from that, you need to reach out to a better schools. There are so many things. It's not one factor, as a matter of fact. So I think what I would do if I were the student, try to find more information. Even the United States Embassy in Dhaka has the center for students. They should go there, spend so much time, rather than relying on these consultancies who may not have the right information for the students.
So when we started talking about the Donald Trump's policy, you were saying that the rhetoric or the statements he have been making for a long time, that's sort of full of contradictions. That's not very significantly meaningful.
Absolutely, I think that's about right. To be honest with you, the United States laws on immigration have not changed. Yes, we have been talking about upgrading the system, changing the system, filling the gap, eliminating the loopholes and all these things, but no such policy, legal law, legislation has come out yet. Obviously, none of them, and there are so many areas that people are talking about changing. Particularly, President talks about what he wants, but nothing has happened. It remains the same. It's definitely media gets out. It will be out in the public. People do talk about it. People are scared. Maybe they think things are different, but that's not actual case, because we know the facts are different.
Yeah. As a lawyer, have you been experiencing any sort of racial profiling?
Well, I know my rights, so I haven't experienced that.
You can fight back.
I mean, it's a crime actually to discriminate in a way, because we have laws. It's a system works in the United States. You know, even one person or one institutions cannot just do what they are not supposed to do. So within the system of law, they have to fall in. You know, some people are crazy. Some people will commit crime. That's a different thing. But it doesn't mean the law will not touch them. That's not going to be the case. What they do, they have to face the consequences of their actions.
There are a lot of reasons to be optimistic about increasing the number of, the immigrant people in the United States. So, if you are asked to put forward some of your suggestions, what will be those?
Well, you know, America is actually created and built by the immigrants, and always lots of students come. As a matter of fact, 80% of the higher education students come from international countries, other countries other than the United States. That is a huge number. And if you even look at your neighboring countries' history, a lot of CEOs, big company CEOs happen to come from India. So there are so many ways to explore your opportunities, to contribute to the better, to your profession, to your life, and to the community eventually. So they can start from any single point. It's never too late. And America does bring immigrants every year more than million.
More than million.
Oh,
from all across the world.
Just that's a legal residency thing all across the world. And then plus there are other non-immigrants also come there in a significant number. If you look at the last year's data alone, there are so many students from China and India becoming probably the number 2 biggest countries who send their students back there. Same way China.
But why the China and India are getting prioritized?
It is not priority. It is, I guess, their population is just so huge the talent is just so much there. There are talented people.
Okay.
There are bright kids. They apply. They know. They do the research. And then if you do that, obviously you are going to get accepted.
Do you think the financial means also a very significant part of?
It is because for the students, because if you go to the United States, you know, you have to meet certain expenses.
Yeah.
If you are eligible and can afford, then yes, it is likelihood that they will be successful to their education.
Is that one of the major stumbling blocks for Bangladeshi students?
That is one of the requirement for all students. Not only Bangladesh, could apply China.
No, I mean the financial affordability.
Every student, it applies equally.
Yeah, but one to financial affordability, do you think that the number of students that are asking or enrolling less in the United States universities?
From Bangladesh, I don't know about the facts because there are a lot of rich people here. You know, Bangladesh is also rich. As I said, you are second exporter of the garment. Hundreds of millions of dollars come to the United States. People have money here.
With consistent economic growth.
Absolutely. And then I can't say they can't afford paying their student tuition fee. As a matter of fact, even in Bangladesh here, some private schools are very expensive than the universities in the United States.
Getting back to the President Trump's policy.
Okay.
He has been issuing updated policies and guidelines. So, I mean, any options for recently, during Obama regime or the previous regimes, diversity, different sort of diversity, immigrant lotteries. Is there any options coming up for the immigrant, foreign countries?
Okay, that's
to immigrate in USA.
That's a very interesting point you raised. Donald Trump's campaign promise was to obviously create border wall, remove undocumented immigrants from the United States, which I believe about 13 million undocumented people living there, and also eliminate DV lottery, and also eliminate chain migration for the far relative of the family-based individuals who are receiving benefits. They are there. He even, I think you know, ordered some.
This lot, opportunities has not been terminated.
Nothing has been terminated yet. It's just what he would like to do.
Oh, okay.
And yes, Congress has been considering certain bills. They want to upgrade their immigration system. They want to focus on tech workers. They want to focus on high skill employment based thing. It's not completely eliminate immigration system. Immigration system will never be eliminated from the United States, that's for sure.
Okay.
Maybe number can be different, but they want to focus more on eliminating DV versus adding, but there are back and forth happening. It's not a slam dunk thing. Congress, until it passes, there is no law. So as of today, except those some banning thing, but some court have even stricken down to those his policies. Obviously, you know, you follow the news very well. So no significant changes has happened in the United States as of now, and it will take some time to produce the sensible policies for the Congress.
You have been working for the community in Bangladesh, the Bangladeshi community and other South Asian communities.
Yes.
What sort of difficulties or what sort of mindset they have when they are in the United States? And
well, you know, maybe it appears pretty big in the news. We know what Donald Trump says and does have no effect to the grassroots everyday Americans. The policy level are in a high level policy. As I said, no policy have been actually passed from the Congress. And then it takes, we had a big success with our tax law, but aside from that, I don't think there is anything else that has been able to, you know, the Congress has achieved in terms of immigration. So that doesn't affect the everyday Bangladeshi or any other immigrants living in the United States, you know, just average everyday life.
Yeah, as a lawyer, I think you have been dealing with many complex issues related to immigration and other litigation, intellectual property, and some of the commercial arbitration, contractual disputes, acquisitions, everything. So, I mean, if you compare the United States with other European countries or Canada or Australia, how do you see the the opportunities or room for the immigrant people?
Okay, well, this is also, of course, anybody would want to know this kind of thing. America, as you know, compared to other countries, I still think this is a very, very good country in terms of living, working, doing business, and producing, whether it's service or product related thing. The reason is that because it is based upon this immigrant philosophy. Everybody that there once upon a time were immigrants. So everybody except the native Indians, Native Americans who are not now that much. So that spirit has kept, and it is also easier to do business. The diversity is there. You do not feel like you are in a different country. It feels like you are in own country. There are so many sub-communities within the communities. For example, New York City, there are more than 200, I think it's 160 languages are being spoken one single day. And there are people from every country are there. This is just an example. So yes, you can easily do a business there. You can easily live there. You shouldn't be going through all these tough discriminatory rules.
Some people, when they talk about the United States, I mean, to some extent getting disillusioned that United States is not as same as it was before in terms of opportunity, in terms of offering new life, new the diverse space for pursuing career or dream. Is that the real scenario?
Well, I mean,
when they talk about financial crunch or unemployment or I mean the domestic tough issues.
But right now, U.S. has the lowest unemployment rate in many, many, many years in the history, to be honest with you. This is the lowest unemployment rate. Employment is booming. Economy is doing great. That's for sure. You can look at the everyday record. So this is there. But when you also
only the approval rate of Donald Trump is declining.
That is happening. Of course, not every American agrees with what President Donald Trump talks about. This is also there. That's the right we all have. And if you are a hardworking person, let's say, I have seen even from people from Bangladesh who actually migrated there, I have seen them very successful too. Great people are greatly contributing in the community. Yes, policies have changed. Everything gradually changes like anywhere else, like here.
Yes, yeah.
But no substantial changes has happened in terms of immigration rules and regulations. Business opportunities still remains the same. Quality of life still remains the same. It's a perception. If you are successful, if you can do it, I don't think it's going to be any problem there.
Mr. Dilip, it's an open-ended question that migration is a right for humankind, but under the current circumstances, most of the developed world is, I mean, the shutting down their doors for people who are willing to migrate in different places of their choice, or they are pursuing their dreams or careers or livelihoods. Do you think, as a lawyer, how the people, the other part of the world can fight back, can pursue in a legal way?
I also think that's also a very nice comment that you have, and also rather than a question, I think, because these days the world is being global right now. As I said, what is produced in Bangladesh is being worn in everywhere in the world. What China produces, we eat all these things food. So if we have this much closeness now, the traveling, coming, going, living, freedom should be there. Obviously, it cannot be wild open, but there has to be some kind of...
But this core inherent right is not being recognized globally.
I do believe it's been recognized. Otherwise, why does for example, United States, Canada, you can look at that too. They welcome immigrants to some extent. Of course, not everyone will be, they don't even have the capacity to bring everyone and help them out. It's simply not possible. But gradually they allow that, so the people can be, they can fit within the system, and then every year that ratio continues to come.
But the sentiment was is not as same as the sentiment we have. You see that in terms of Rohingya people, we have opened up our heart and home for the 1 million, more than 1 million Rohingya people. But do you think that the Western world will open up their heart and home for the people that number and that extent?
Well, that is also another question, I guess, that Western world is not facing the situation, but I think
dealing with Syrian refugees is not that
correct. In Europe, they were afraid. I guess mostly political. Than
not as open as we are.
Correct. Well, it's a political changes going on right now in the whole world. More tough.
Okay.
Political leaders are acting even though they don't feel that inside their heart, because they want to remain in the power. They have to pretend. They have to go with those things.
Okay.
I do agree with that. I think the whole world needs to come a little bit closer to be more compassionate and to be more understanding to each other.
Yes, we need to be more compassionate. But last, and coming back to the immigration policy, what is the message you want to extend to the people to Bangladesh?
Well, what I'm trying to say is, the policies, regulations have not changed. You have so much information that you need to get in order to prepare for yourself. Whether it's a student, whether it's a skilled employer, or there is a businessman trying to professionals trying to expand your career, trying to do globally.
Okay.
I think the United States has those laws, so I think you should definitely try.
Thank you very much,
Thank you.
Mr. Diliraj Bhatta, for joining me.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Dear viewers, that was my conversation with Mr. Diliraj Bhatta, New York lawyer. Thank you indeed for watching this show, and we invite you to watch our next episode. Until then, you take care.